Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox, and I'm coming to you today with the 22nd installment of Black Girls on Television. Yes, you guys, Carrie is all by herself today. No Empire, but it will be back again next week. And of course, you guys know that How to Get Away with Murder is done and done. Won't be back until September or whenever the fall schedule starts up. So, yeah, you guys, just Scandal. And Scandal was good. I was proud of Shonda. I was thinking maybe How to Get Away with Murder being out the way. Maybe we can stop comparing Scandal to How to Get Away with Murder and let Scandal stand on its own and give it another shot, because I actually really enjoyed the show yesterday. And also, thank you for all the well wishes. I am feeling much better today. Turns out that I believe it was my allergies that was bothering me. Someone said maybe I had postnasal drip. It was dripping into my stomach and making me nauseous, and I think that's what it was, because once I took my Zyrtec when I got home, then I was fine. Y'all don't have to worry. Rocky is good, child. Y'all told me I had gallbladder disease. Y'all told me I had acid reflux. Y'all told me I had all kind of shit, and no, it's not none of that. I appreciate everybody trying to look out for me, but yeah, I don't because I'm still gonna do what I want to do. We gonna get to this review so I can go get me something to eat, take it all back to work. So let's get to it, shall we? You guys, I really enjoy having Sally Langston as like a narrator of the show. She just, that was like a perfect little setup for her, because we like to see her all the time, and she's just so damn ironic and so funny to me that I like her being there. But anyway, the debate is coming up. Show opens with all of everybody's handlers, everybody's campaign folks splitting hairs basically about what they do and don't want at the debate. You know, whether we gonna have podiums that are clear, if it's steps behind the podium, if there's a light, if there's a buzzer, you know, yeah, no. Olivia doesn't get her light and buzzer, and she's mad because she's like, Hollis Doyle is really good friends with Sally, and she's gonna let him run overtime, and nobody else is gonna get any time to talk. If you don't have the light and buzzer, then I'm pulling Mellie. They were like, fine, pull her. So, you know, of course she walks off. How, you know how she has her walk. She already knows that they're going to cave to her demands because she's Olivia Pope, right? And sure enough, here comes the producer or whatever, the guy that's setting the whole thing up. You know, he's like, all right, we'll have the light, we'll have the buzzer. Guess you guys, that's a signal that Miss Olivia Pope is back. Susan turning out to be a pretty good debater, and you know why? Susan is in love. Susan is happy. She's got David, okay? Everything is going right for her right now. She's confident. She is starting to believe that maybe she could be the president of the United States. You know, they're testing her out, trying to find out how she's going to do at the debate, and she's answering questions, spitfire, got all the numbers together, has all the figures in her head, is able to put out the answers confidently, and everybody's just like, yes. Abby calls Olivia's like, girl, you are not even knowing how well Susan is doing. You're on the wrong team. Olivia believes that Mellie is also going to be a very good president, and she feels like, you know, even though Mellie is a bitch, she can whip her into shape, and she would actually be a good president of the United States as well. And this is when we find out that Edison, you guys remember Edison? Edison is Olivia's ex-boyfriend from the first season. Remember the black guy that she was seeing before she got wrapped up with Fitz? He's a senator, remember? Okay, well, he's running as well. Is it true? Abby asks Olivia. She's, I don't know, you know, so she goes to see him. He was like, listen, you've been good to me. You've helped me out, okay? And I've been good to you. I've helped you out. You know, I'm going to continue to have your back. You ain't got to worry about me. And, you know, he's like, good. Okay. She was actually looking at him like she was kind of yearning. And I was just like, I think that Olivia's hot in the fucking pants, y'all. She seemed to like every damn body. Now, David is seeing Susan and Elizabeth, and the shit is out of control. He's addicted to Elizabeth, but he loves Susan. But he loves all the nasty, dirty, freaky shit that, you know, Liz does to him. So he's all at his wit's end. He goes to talk to Abby about it. Abby don't want to hear it. Her and David's shit is long done. He's telling her, like, I need you to help me choose. And she was just like, you know what? Worry about your fucking self and get the hell up out of my office. When he's walking out of Abby's office, Elizabeth is, you know, telling him to come to her office, and you know, he thought it's time for freak nasty time, right? He gets in there and Susan is there. She was just like, you know, we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do at this debate thing. I think you need to come on out and say that you are Susan's boyfriend, and you know, you need to go up on the stage because she needs to have a, you know, significant other in this race. Susan was just like, I don't know, Liz. I think that's a lot to ask of David. But David was like, I'll do it. Proudly. I'll get up there and say that that's my girlfriend. And of course, when he says that, Susan is just like, oh, All of my dreams answered. My man is willing to claim me in public. So Elizabeth is happy, Susan is happy, and David is whatever David is. Skipping over to Cyrus, you know, he's trying to run Vargas's campaign over there. He's trying to get the troops riled up and ready. He's got one problem that he's got to contend with, and that is Vargas's brother. He had not added him into the equation. He thought that he was going to be able to work him and Francisco side to side to win this election. Nope, Alex is debonair. He's also rejuvenated and ready to go, and he is the one that obviously has been getting everybody riled up thus far. Okay, so now Cyrus is upset, like, I didn't know Alex was gonna be here, and Francisco's like, you have a problem with my brother? Basically, get over it. My brother is my brother. He's always gonna be here. And every time he goes to tell Francisco something, you know, he's like, oh, my brother Alex is on it. Cyrus has another idea. Oh yeah, Alex is taking care of that. Okay, so like I said, you can tell that it's about to run Cyrus the wrong way. Now, skipping back over to Mellie and Olivia. Like I said, Mellie is a bitch, and they know she's a bitch. But however, we need to see what the people think about her. So they call a focus group in, and the focus group confirms what they already know, that she's a bitch, that she's a know-it-all, that she's out of touch with the people. You know, they basically do not like Mellie. And Mellie can't understand. She's just like, I'm a good person. I'm very smart. Olivia's trying to tell her in a nice way, like, you got to dumb it down, or you need to, you know, soften out them edges so you can kind of appeal to the more average and common person, the middle class and the ones below. Okay, you ain't hitting none of these people down here. And you know, Mellie doesn't want to do it, but she's just like, all right, I will learn how to be appealing to these people. Did you forget about them telling Jake? Okay, you know that Quinn is still telling Jake, and you know he's pretty average in his movements, and she's not able to find too much. She tells Olivia, like, you know, this is really nothing. We're gonna have to move on to plan B. So Olivia is fine with plan B. And what is plan B? Plan B is acting like you're a friend of Vanessa's that you went to college with and try to get close to her and find out what Jake is doing that way. So Quinn gets dressed up and goes to some party that Vanessa's at and goes up to her and is just like, oh yeah, I'm so-and-so from college. How you been? And you know, so her and Vanessa strike up a conversation, and next thing you know, they ace boom coons. Child, I was like, it must only be what white folks do, because I've been like, bitch, I don't know you. Shit. So the plan is a go. Quinn is meeting with Vanessa and finding all this information. Susan is doing really well in her debates, and everybody is happy with her. She goes in to talk to Abby one day, and she sees David's folder sitting on the desk, and she was just like, oh, what's that? She was like, girl, give me that. That's David. He always in here telling me about his damn women problems, and you know, he got two women. He be juggling back and forth. He don't know how to choose between the two of them. And remember, nobody knows that Susan and David were seeing each other. So when Abby told her that, you know, Susan was just like, his women? He's got women? Yeah, girl, he got all these problems. Don't worry about it. Anyway, what were you saying? Of course, that completely put Susan off. Like, oh my God, my knight in shining armor, my man, the person I'm in love with, the one who just said he would claim me on stage, he's seeing somebody else. She's heartbroken. I'm heartbroken for her. After that, the bitch is completely off. When they have another test run of the debate, she ain't got the answer. She's zoning out. Okay, she doesn't know what she needs to say. All right, she is just completely the opposite of what they had just gotten, you know, however many days before when they did another test run. So they're just kind of like, are you okay? And she's just sort of like, yeah, I'm all right. But you already know that she's not all right, y'all. Her man is cheating on her. Now we see Hollis Doyle, and like I said, they are definitely modeling him after the Donald Trump character. And I think it's really it's genius, because now we all can kind of relate to this, because we can see like our own nation going down this damn drain just like this, right? Hollis, he's a man of the people. He's out there at the damn gun range. He's shooting. He's cooking bacon for everybody. You know, he's talking to everybody. They love him to death. Texas charm, all of that. And then you got Mellie, who is just a fucking bitch. And Olivia's like, we have got to get you out in public, or else Hollis is going to run off with just the average person vote. We don't want him to get that vote. We need those people to be on our side. We got to soften you up. We got to put you a baseball cap on. We got to get you to wear you some plaid, some flannel, jeans, and go on down to the Gettysburg and have lunch there with the people. Mellie doesn't want to do that. She probably never ever has gone to the Gettysburg, but You know, if this means that she might get the nomination, then fine. Yeah, so Mellie take her ass on down there to the Gettysburger. You know, she's got the cameras in tow. She's talking to the people. She's smiling. She's laughing. When she sits down, the media comes up to her and they're asking her questions like, oh, you know, how often do you come to the Gettysburger? And she was just like, oh, I come here all the time. Oh, okay, which one? She kind of hiccups like, which one? Oh, I love the one that's over on so-and-so, or the other one that's, you know, the one that's on top of in the little corner mall, you know, I love going to that one, or this one. So she's naming all of the places, okay, so they look like, oh, okay, good, she has been to the Gettysburg. She was like, yeah, I love to go there on Sundays, you know, right after church, I go to the one such and such, and they were like, the one after church on Sundays, and she was like, yeah, I go there every Sunday after church. They were like, Gettysburgers is closed on Sunday, okay, it's in respect for whatever the holidays, some, you know, Civil War, something. But the point they're trying to make is, bitch, you ain't gone to the Gettysburger on Sundays because they are not open on Sundays. So now you lying to the people. You're a bitch, you're standoffish, you're aloof, and you a liar. So this is a disaster. She goes back and she is pissed at Olivia like, bitch, I told you I did not want to go out there and do that. That's not me. So now you made this damn bed. You better fucking fix it. Bitch, I'm gonna be the damn president. Now jumping back to Susan, she's just sitting in her office. She's just confused. She doesn't know what to do with herself. David walks in. She just looks at him and she's like, are you cheating on me? And you can kind of see that he was just like, oh, no, of course I'm not cheating on you. She was just like, oh, why am I hearing rumors that you have two women and you're trying to choose between two? And he's like, it's just a rumor. I mean, I don't have time to be having two women. I'm not even smooth enough to lie. You know, he starts telling all these things. Listen, I only want to be with you. I love you. You're the person I want to be with. Okay. So she was just like, okay. But you can tell that little teeny little inkling in the back of her mind is not letting her believe that story all the way. I felt so bad for Susan. I was just like, ain't nothing like being disappointed by a man, honey. And once they disappoint you, shit, it's hard to get back on that foot, right? So now Susan has her problem right now. Okay, Olivia, well, she has Mellie's problem. She don't know what to do, so she calls her dad. And she goes over there to have a drink with her dad, and her dad was like, well, I know why you came here, because you want me to fix it for you. You want me to tell you what to do. She tells him about Mellie and the shit that she did at the Gettysburger and lying and all of that. She also tells him that a man approached her, who would have been Alex Vargas. Alex Vargas earlier in the episode had approached her and told her that he had some dirt on Susan. He would give her the dirt on Susan if Olivia would give them the dirt on Edison. Olivia tells him, like, I don't fight dirty. Tells Cyrus, fuck him, he ain't getting no dirt on Edison. So when she tells her dad all of that, the dad was just like, so Olivia, what you're saying here is you're torn because you really want Mellie to win, but you don't want it to be at the expense of Edison, but you've done bad things before, right? And you feel like this is just another thing that you can do, and it won't be any different. But the difference is that you were like Robin Hood. You were stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. You didn't do anything at the expense of just hurting somebody just because. And Edison has been good to you. He's done a lot of good things for you. He's never turned his back on you, even when he very easily could have. Basically, her dad was telling him, like, you owe Edison. It'd be fucked up for you to give that information over to Vargas. You're not like me, and I don't want you to change who you are just because you're trying to get the power and trying to win. I don't know if that speech helped Olivia. We starting to find out just how ruthless that damn Olivia is. Now, speaking of Olivia, Quinn meets back with her and she was just like, oh my God. You know, she had just met with Vanessa. And Vanessa told her that her boyfriend, you know, he's this, he's that, he's the other. You know, he made sure that he went through her. All of her financial records, her banking records, and her laptop. You know, he just wants to be safe, is what Vanessa is thinking. Of course, Quinn knows that Jake definitely is obviously going through her banking and is able to figure out that he is laundering money through her accounts to fund this super PAC for Edison. I don't know politics. I don't really know what all that mean, but it ain't good. Shit. It's this couple in this car next to me, and they both just looked in my car like, what the fuck is she doing? And now they just sitting in the car looking at me. Okay, they pulling off. So now they know what Jake is doing and why he's with Vanessa, okay? We also know that whatever this money laundering that he's doing for this super PAC for Edison is not a good thing too. Okay, so now Olivia got the one up on Jake. She know what the motherfucker is doing. She first goes to talk to Edison and was like, listen, I know that Jake is funding the super PAC for you. You don't want to get in bed with him. He is a monster. And Edison basically, to make a long story short, was just like, listen, bitch, I've been in bed with monsters before. This time I'm in bed with a monster's father. Okay, talk. I said, ooh. Edison want this damn presidency too. He just been on the quiet. He just been quiet. He said he think it's time for a black president. So now everybody's kind of, positions are changing. Hollis is leading the polls. He is the country favorite. The media is surprised that Hollis is the fan favorite. Like I said, if it ain't just like Donald Trump, I know something. Susan, she's in her office again. Fitz comes in there and he's just like, yeah, you all right? Like, she was just like, yeah, I was off my game, but you know what, I'm back on now. Ask me anything. I got the answers for everything. Fitz is looking at her and finally she asks him, why did he cheat? He was like, excuse me? She was like, why did you cheat? Why do any man cheat? Why do people cheat at all? Fitz tries to explain to her that, people cheat for all kinds of reasons. Susan tells him, I have a boyfriend and I believe he loves me, but I don't want to be one of those dumb women who find out later on. And Fitz was like, well, you know what? All I can really tell you about is if you believe that somebody is cheating, it's because they usually are. And I was like, oh, but that was the truth for that ass, right? Now we see Jake and his girl Vanessa at dinner. They having a good time talking, laughing or whatever. And then he gets a call on his phone. She's like, is it work related? He was like, I can't say. I'm big time NSA leader. I'm the head of the NSA, like Jake always want to tell us. So anyway, he walks out. And when he gets into the little lobby area, it's Olivia. She was just like kind of walks off like, follow me. Okay, she goes in the bathroom. And then she pulls a little stalkeration on old Jake, switches the roles around, okay, and she comes up to him and she's kissing on him. She was like, I know that you're trying to launder money through Vanessa's account for the super PAC. And then she unbuckles his pants and she was just like, I know your girl is normal and you say you like that, but ain't nobody right. And you like, old Olivia can, bitch. Can't nobody give you a hand job like old Olivia can. And then she puts her hand in his pants and she's all up on him, and they breathing and shit is dark. I was sitting there watching it with Jada and I was just like, oh my God, Jada, you gonna have to get out of here, child. We can't. I was just like, this is entirely too much for regular TV. Can't nobody get you off like I can. She's all in his ear. He's all breathing hard. They look like they about to fuck in the damn bathroom. And then she was like, so what you need to do is you tell my father that I'm always going to win. Okay, motherfucker. Then walked off and left him with his blue balls and his hard dick in his hand and honey left out that bathroom. Jake is looking like, oh my God, let me get myself together. Put my pants back on. My woman's out there in the restaurant. So now Olivia's back on track, okay? She's got her footing. She's not under the control of these men and not knowing what's going on. She's got it all under control, okay? The day of the debate, I guess Olivia has made her choice. She meets with Vargas and they switch envelopes. He gives her the envelope of dirt on Susan and she gives him the envelope of dirt on Edison. And what's in Edison's envelope? Well, he was addicted to painkillers back in the day and she put him in a rehab and nobody really knows about it. I'm thinking to myself, like, that's not a whole lot of dirt, but maybe to the conservatives, maybe that's something you don't want to, but you can flip that. So I was like, well, that isn't as bad as I thought it could be, but whatever they gave her on Susan, that shit must have been real bad because she looked like, oh my God, I got to tell this. This is not really what, and I have a feeling it's going to have something to do with an abortion or something like that. So anyway, bad news for Susan. She just looks. We don't know what's in there. I guess we'll find out soon. Speaking of Susan, she's outside. She's smoking a cigarette. David walks up, baby, ready for the debate? She said, I know smoking is not good for me. She gives this whole long speech. He was like, well, then why are you doing it? And she was like, because I'm about to break up with my boyfriend. I know you've been cheating. He is like, listen, if for whatever it's worth, we're not together anymore. I broke up with her because I love you. You're the only person I love. You're the only person I want to be with. And she was like, motherfucker, it's too late. You already said that you was going to come up on the stage. Elizabeth already told the people that's what you were going to do, so you couldn't need to go on and do that. Okay, but she's already got this super hard exterior and she just kind of zoned. She's just in the zone. I'm not fucking with you no more, David. Not like that. You done broke my heart. You done took all the stars out the sky. I'm understanding exactly what it is now. Real sad because I didn't expect it to go down this way, but it's even worse this way because it's kind of still at Susan's expense, right? She's about to go out and Elizabeth walks up and she's just like, I broke up with David. Elizabeth, what? Are you crazy? Why are you doing that? Because he's cheating on me. And Elizabeth was like, oh my God, like with who? I don't know with who. Why does that even matter? We're not together anymore. And she starts crying and then Elizabeth starts crying. I wasn't really sure what the emotions was of Elizabeth. Was she feeling bad because now she sees how she's hurt Susan? Was she upset because now she doesn't really know how Susan is going to react and how that's going to affect her personality and, going forward trying to run for presidency? Was she happy tears that now David and Susan are not together, and maybe she could be with David, because I feel like Elizabeth also loves David and she just doesn't want to admit it. I wasn't really sure what the tears was about, but there was tears. It was right before she was about to walk out onto the debate, and of course the debate, they call everybody out. They call out Mellie, they call out Hollis, and then they call out Susan, and they're standing there and we're waiting for the debate to get started. So that's what happened in the episode last night, you guys. Didn't you love it? I thought it was really, really good. All right, you guys, so let me get off of here. About to get me something to eat and get on back to work. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. And I plan on doing the same. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.